Your approach stresses the importance of leadership within the concept of being a good manager. Explain how this concept of leadership aids performance in a normal business environment.
Yeah, it's a common misapprehension that leadership is just the domain of those that are the top of the organisation. Leadership is applicable at all levels and can make such a difference to performance at work for all types of managers. Words like vision, ownership of performance, achieving results, empowerment are all equally the domain of the middle manager or the supervisor or the team leader, as well as those at the top of the organisation. Where we can have leadership at all levels in our companies, we've got a real chance of breaking through barriers and achieving results.
Okay, this concept of emotional intelligence, we've been hearing a lot more about that recently. And can you help explain, firstly, what exactly is emotional intelligence? And two, how does it manifest itself, and in what way does emotional intelligence help the performance of individual managers?
Emotional intelligence really relates to how we perform ourselves, what's going on within us, how we relate to others, and in these domains we can have a big impact if we can get ourselves right and effectively control and manage how we interact with others, while taking recognition and care about our strengths and about our adaptability. Then we can have a big impact at work.
Where would one easily encounter the linkage between emotional intelligence and leadership, in terms of, say, running a small department in a service company?
Well, if you can put yourself in the shoes of somebody running a small department in a service company, perhaps they've got 10 staff. Each of these staffs will have different job roles, they'll have different behaviours at work. Some will be handling customer complaints, some will be selling, maybe some admin functions, but there's some leadership required. We need to show them the vision, we need to manage situations and manage people. Now, the 15 factors of emotional intelligence include the interpersonal stuff like assertiveness, for example, the interpersonal stuff like empathy, stress management areas, adaptability, and even your general mood. So by improving any of these 15 areas, we can manage our teams better, get better results, and that's how it helps.
Okay, we've discussed both emotional intelligence and helping all levels of management perform better. But in the area of ongoing development of an individual, in what areas can we build on and improve their existing application through the application of emotional intelligence in their day-to-day business environment?
Yeah. I think the best example to give an answer to that question is a sales manager. You know, a sales manager, if you can imagine that the targets aren't coming through, the numbers aren't there, people are phoning in sick, just the luck's not with you and you're a million miles away from target. Emotional intelligence, for example, has areas which can be measured and can be improved, and they're sometimes not used when they should be. For example, optimism, empathy, stress tolerance, impulse control, all these factors enter personal relationships themselves. Where we can get these on top form, even when the targets aren't coming easy, gives us the best chance of success. So where sales managers are able to realise that, they'll have the best chance of getting the results.
Right, I'm putting a hard hat on here. I'm a managing director in a medium-sized parts component business in the UK. My training budget's a bit stretched and I want to improve the people I've got. I've been made aware. But what immediate value will our company derive from sending our people on an emotional intelligence course? What would I see immediately?
Well, it would be an investment, and investments are designed to have returns. Emotional intelligence gets to the root cause of situations, and the root cause could be related to a sales area, could be a management issue, could be a productivity issue, but the habits that underlie the performance are addressed through emotional intelligence. So the investment of the right amount of time in training and coaching in the right areas will give you results. Training should be measured. It should be measured before the training and the coaching, and it should be measured after. That is an integral part of our programme. Measure the situation first, do the intervention, then measure the improvement. We've got many testimonials that back up that.
And yeah, what's the best measurement that you can think of that would effectively measure the results of a business to justify the investment in the course?
Yeah, businesses have got the options to invest, but the investment in emotional intelligence and leadership and training and coaching is long term. You'll get long term habits, you get long term improvements, but you'll also get the short term improvement in performance. It can be tailored exactly to the situation of each manager, team leader, director, salesperson, sales manager. It doesn't matter. The underlying root cause and the root of performance is emotional intelligence, allied to other disciplines, of course. But where we can get the correct habits at the right time, we'll get the results. That's why we should invest.
Yeah, you touched on results there. That would be the most important thing for any managing director. The results thing. We'll focus on the results now. And where are we going with the results from investing in our managers?
Well, a recent example of a sales manager where sales figures were lower, but after the emotional intelligence review and focus, there was an instant improvement in results. We see that time and time again in sales teams and sales managers, but also in productivity too, and in engagement of team workers.
You mentioned habits and targets there, Ian. Why are they important in this context?
Yeah, it's common that managers lead their areas, if that's the right term, through targets. We must achieve so much this week. We must achieve this month. We must achieve today. But that in itself gives a focus, but it's the activity that goes on, the habits that go on that makes these targets happen. If we don't do the right things, we won't get the results. If we've got the right habits, we might even exceed the targets that we've set ourselves. You can imagine if you're a long distance runner, for example, running a 10k, perhaps your target is to run it in 30 minutes. But in order to run and achieve that target, you must train, you must learn how to run at your best, you must have the right diet, the right rest. You know, all sorts of habits should go on in order to achieve that result. Work's the same. What are the things we should be doing to get the best results? Leadership in particular and emotional intelligence help us with these habits, meaning we get the results.
You've been a keen exponent of the benefits of executive coaching. Tell us a little bit about coaching and where it specifically dovetails with what we've been talking about previously, leadership and emotional intelligence.
Yeah, coaching is so efficient, the results can be staggering actually. The focus is on the individual, on the manager, where the coach, or where I sit with managers, and it allows them to analyse what's going on, evaluate what's going on, plan ahead in terms of what's wanted, overcome obstacles and barriers that could be of all sorts of types and natures, and really improve performance. The essence of coaching is the here and now, moving forward, not getting caught up in politics of the past and difficulties of the past, and not to take too much recognition of one single factor at work. Balance is a key word. Coaching allows individuals to really have clarity in the way ahead and to use their strengths to achieve results. Fantastic.
To wind up the discussion, Ian, it's been fascinating, but you've been an illuminating insight into how management training can help all levels of staff become even better managers and make a better contribution to company performance. But if you were to summarise where the next step forward will be in terms of taking the concept of management training here with all the emotional intelligence leadership concepts, another step forward, where would that take us? Where would that be in say 10 years' time?
Well, I'm not sure about 10 years' time, but certainly now it's about bespoke interventions tailored exactly to individual circumstances, individual company circumstances. Management development can be so powerful, using leadership and emotional intelligence in other areas, really designing it to the company situation. Having said that, companies can meet each other and learn from each other too. Much learning goes on in group scenarios, but leadership, management, executive coaching, designed and tailored to individual situations, can have powerful, powerful results that should be measured. When they are measured, it'll just be realised how valuable they can be.
And I'd like to thank you for coming along this morning and explaining your methods and your teaching training concepts. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you.